Hello everybody, my name is Taylor. I'm from Jersey Cares. I'm also a student at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, and today I'm going to show you how to make an easy microwave pizza recipe. Basically with this recipe, all you really need is going to be a toaster and a microwave. So you could make this in an oven, but the recipe that I'm showing just requires those two. The other thing about the ingredients, I'm gonna go over everything you need there, but there's also a lot of flexibility in this recipe. So if you don't have something, it's easy to substitute a lot of the ingredients with other things. And I'm gonna show a few of those substitutions as well. So I hope you enjoy.
Let's begin with a tour of all of the ingredients and equipment we'll need. So we'll start with our veggies. Here we have a 1/4 cup of onions, here we have a 1/4 cup of peppers, and back here we have some baby spinach. So with the peppers and the onions, these are toppings to your pizza, so they're not essential. And the main reason for that is they do require a knife to cut them and get them like this. So if you don't have a parent or guardian to watch you use a knife or cut them for you, you can just forego this part. It's not necessary. It's nice because it adds a lot of flavor and color, but again, like you don't need to have it. However, a really essential part is the spinach. So about a handful of spinach translates to a cup of spinach, and spinach is really good for you. Just this amount has all of the vitamin K you need for the entire day and half of the vitamin A. So it's really good for you. I'm gonna throw it in here because it's easier for me to reach. But yeah, don't be afraid to add the spinach. I can promise you, you won't even taste it. Another essential part of our recipe is our cheeses. So all of these are mozzarella cheese, they're just in different forms. So this is a big old block of cheese, this is a mozzarella cheese stick, and this is shredded cheese. All of these melt fine, all of these work great. My only recommendation is that you use a low-fat cheese because it actually does spread better and it is healthier for you. Moving on to our breads. So this is a pita recipe. However, my local store did not have pita, so I'm just using whole wheat naan bread. And if your store doesn't have pita or naan, no problem. You can always use another whole wheat bread. Like right here, I have a whole wheat English muffin. And they work just fine. They all cook the same. But the only thing is keep whatever bread you use whole wheat, because whole wheat has a lot of fiber and it helps your digestive system a lot. So it's really good for you. The next thing that you need is some sort of marinara sauce. So marinara sauce is red because it's made out of tomatoes. Tomatoes have a lot of vitamin C, which is really good because it helps your body heal cuts and scrapes. So definitely add some marinara sauce. If you have a pizza sauce, that works fine too, but you don't need a pizza sauce for this recipe. The only thing you really need is a measuring tool. So this is my tablespoon. And you might also need a smaller bowl to put your sauce in, as well as a cover for when it goes into the microwave. If you don't have a cover that's like this, you can always just use like a saran wrap and it works just fine. Whatever you do, do not use aluminum foil in the microwave. And that about wraps it up for our ingredients and stuff, so let's get to it. Step 1 to the microwave recipe is to toast your bread in the toaster. Either bread works. My pita bread are big enough that they kind of fit in here by themselves, but my English muffins, you have to cut them or rip them open and then they'll fit inside your toaster. You might need to do them separately like I did, but either way it should be fine. So what setting do you toast them on? I'm so glad you asked. My toaster doesn't really have a lot of settings, but I generally do the highest one, so for me that's number 7. Other toasters that just have the toast option are probably fine. So again, take it, and if you have my kind of toaster, number 7. If you don't, toast it with your toast setting and it will be fine. So when all of your breads come out of the toaster, they're going to be really hot. So it's a good idea to have all of your other equipment here. I have a plate and some tongs so you don't burn yourself when you're taking things out. So when you want to know if they're done, you really should be looking for like this sort of coloration where they look very toasted, because then that means that they're not very flimsy. This is not very hot, but it's not really wiggling too much, and that's kind of what you want to go for with these. So again, use your tongs, check if it's good. If it's not, you can always toast it for a little bit longer, but generally the toastier the better, because all of the sauce and stuff adds a lot of moisture and will make it super soggy. So you need to start out with something super dry like these toasts. When you're good with that, you can just bring them back on over. So while you're waiting for your bread to toast, you can start step number 2, and that's to prepare your sauce. So it might sound kind of dumb to heat up your sauce before you heat the pizza, but the main point of this is to prevent your bread from getting soggy, because things that are soggy just don't taste as good. You really only need a little bit of sauce though. So this is a teaspoon measure. That's really all you're going to need. It's not very big. And you just take 2 of them, place them in your bowl. It's 2 per piece of bread. So for each English muffin, you're really only gonna need 1 spoon for each side. And then you're going to need both teaspoons to cover the whole thing for your pita bread. So once you have your sauce, you can just plop that into your microwave. Generally, you should cover it with a cover. If you don't have a cover like this, saran wrap works just fine. And you can microwave that for about 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you can take it out, and generally you're gonna have a little bit of a mess, which is why you really should cover it. But yeah, if it's too hot, definitely grab it with gloves. Mine is not very hot, so we can just take it right out and put it back on the table. So next you're gonna add your sauce to your toasted bread. I already did one here, but I didn't show the pita because that's a little straightforward. But with these, you just wanna take about half of the sauce for each half of the English muffin and then spread it around. They're a little porous, so it's a little annoying, but you really still don't need that much to cover the entire surface. And then make sure you get all the stuff off the back as well. And there you go. You've pretty much covered the whole thing with a little bit of sauce. So next we're gonna add our spinach. This spinach says on the box that it has been triple washed, so you don't need to wash it. But if your spinach does not say that it has been washed, please wash it. You don't wanna end up sick. And also, if you're scared of adding spinach, this is only a handful. This fits right in the palm of my hand. So it's a pretty good amount. And if you're afraid that it's gonna taste bad because it's leafy and green, don't worry, I have 100% proof that it's gonna taste just fine. Okay, Michael, this is a healthy pizza. It's got spinach on it. What is your view of vegetables?
If it's green, it's poisonous.
So you don't like vegetables?
Not at all.
All right, well, can you eat this and let me know if you could taste any vegetables on it?
No vegetables.
Ah, there you go, guys. 100% proof. So you have to take this, and what I do is I ball it like this and I squeeze them together so that you can hear all the little stems break and stuff like that. And then we're gonna bring it over to the pizza. Just gonna ball it a few more times. And I take it and I pinch off the end so you get a little ball of it that kind of looks like this. And then you can place it on here. This way, all of the spinach will fit on here and be small enough that you can eat it and not feel like you're taking in gigantic pieces of spinach. But if this method doesn't work for you, the little twist and pull method, there is another way you can do this. So I'm gonna reach into my triple washed box. You don't need to use that way. You can grab another handful from here. And you can stack the leaves on top of each other like this. And then just tear it off from there. And it's pretty much the exact same effect. And just kind of coat wherever you see red on your pizza, you should then also see green. So that way you're adding enough of everything onto your pizza. Me, and after that last step, you ended up with like a bunch of green in and on your nails. Just wash it out. It'll come right out. It won't stain at all. After running a little bit of water, my nails are clean. So yeah, that's really it. Here are the 3 cheeses that you can use before. All of these are mozzarella cheese. So half of a regular mozzarella cheese stick is enough for either one whole pita or both of these English muffins. The same can be said about a 1/4 cup, actually a little less, of shredded cheese. Can either cover the entire pita or both of the English muffins. And if you have the big blocks of cheese here, about like a half of one of these pieces is enough for either the entire pita or both of the little English muffin halves. So I'll show this one first. You really don't need that much, especially because it's really thick and they'll spread out. So you can just cut them into little sections and then place them pretty evenly around the entire piece. Just don't place them too close together or else they'll melt into each other, and then when you bite into it, all the cheese will fall off in one bite. So that's like a good amount. So for the cheese stick, you can really just, tear at it, peel at it, take either little pieces like that or peels like this. Generally, I think the little pieces are better because you can cover more surface with less cheese. So if you don't have a whole lot, you can still make this. But yeah, you really only need a half of these just for one. The same can be said with the shredded cheese. You really only need half of what's in here for one of the mozzarella. One of the English muffin halves. So, like half covers it pretty well. Last step of our microwave recipe is to microwave them. So they really only need to be microwaved for 30 seconds tops. And you can watch them go. But yeah, 30 seconds later, they're going to be beautiful. And here are results when you take them out of the microwave. They all look pretty good. And for the most part, our crust stayed not wobbly, so that's really nice. So yeah, after this, wait for them to cool a little bit, and then enjoy. Hi, pretty girl. I just made a pizza, and I just taught a bunch of people how to make this pizza. What do you think, huh, Mag? Look, you can smell it. Right? Smells good. Oh, wait.